can happen when you kick off after dark. Welcome to the home of the Colorado Buffaloes, Boulder, Colorado. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So Wyoming's offense will be the first to dial up ball plays in this one. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power. All those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here, Lisa. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards over there.
They'll run for it on third and short. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
Well, third down, they tried to run the football thinking they could catch the defense off guard. They were able to get some yards, not the first, though. So now you've got fourth and very short. What do the analytics say to do here, head coach?
And the Cowboys will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, and just like that, they'll have to give it up. Fair catch is signaled and made, and they'll go to work from the 27-yard line. The Buffaloes offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And the heart of this team clearly rests on the offensive line, a group of maulers, David, who take pride in what they do.
And I think if you're a coach, you take pride. Like, it starts up front. Like, you win and lose games with physicality, and they lean on all the big fellas up front, the hog mollies, the big uglies, the most unselfish players on the field.
It's old school, man. We're in an era of college football where it's up-tempo, spread, air raid. Games are still won and lost, though, in the trenches. And because this is one of the best offensive lines in all of college football, that is a huge advantage this offense takes into each and every game.
With the catch, it's Williams. Brought down at the 45 after a 15-yard pickup.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
To the air, it's Salter. Makes the grab, it's Williams. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. Grab behind the line, it's Atkins. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
The Buffaloes have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Snagged in the middle, it's Miller. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
Snap's going to come from the 23 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw again. And he just threw that one away. Safe move, didn't see anything, lived to play another play.
Well, that one falls incomplete, but this guy has been locked in. He's 5 for 6 on the opening drive of the game, and the coaching staff felt like he had a great week of preparation coming into this one. I think they were expecting him to have this hot start.
Motion from the back. On second down, he'll try to make the connection. Got his man quickly. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Buffaloes come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Looking downfield, it's Salter. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado.
Football oftentimes gets won by the teams who play the best on the critical down and distances. What an amazing play by that quarterback on 3rd down. Able to put his team on his back, use his legs to extend and buy time, and then go score. Awesome job.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive. And it was capped off with an impressive 18-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Continues to fight for yards. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Looking downfield on 1st down. Catch in the middle, it's Durham. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the 1st down.
Well, had a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
This will likely be the last play of the half. They'll go up top on 2nd and short. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellas, yeoman's work so far today in Boulder, and welcome in to the halftime update. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas at Folsom Field.
The Cowboys will kick it away to start the 2nd half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down, 2nd down coming.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the 3rd quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
Dropping back, it's Salter. Makes the grab. Pick up for 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Trying to pick up a 1st down. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. Caught near the sticks, it's Miller. He'll be run out of bounds, but we've got laundry on the field. Let's see what that's about. You want your defenders to be physical in pass coverage, but they can't be overly aggressive. They can't grab and hold. That's an obvious PI call. Looking to throw on first down. Trying to get behind the defense. Snags it up at 30 and still running. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the third quarter.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the Buffaloes with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Second down, they'll go to the air. Catch in the middle, it's Welsh. The defense burns their third and final timeout of the half.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
He'll keep it on the sneak.
3rd and 1, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
The Buffaloes are flying down the field. Wide receiver comes in motion. Back to throw, it's Salter. Completes the shuffle pass. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. On the ground, it's Welch. Defense makes the tackle, and that will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Guys, Colorado has the lead here and sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. They'll throw on 3rd and short. He's got it on the move. He's run out of bounds, but they've got it now 1st and goal.
And obviously, getting the completion, it's a killer. They get a new set of downs. You got to find a way to make a play now. The saving grace, I guess, Jesse, is he ran out of bounds and stopped the clock, so at least the clock isn't running.
Yeah, and David, it's just a situation right now defensively. I think you just got to take more chances, right? You may have to blitz, you may have to sell out, you might risk giving up a big play, but it's just so critical at this juncture of the game that you're able to retake possession to give yourself a chance to win.